heard all of them say, "Oh, I understand why we were matched." Have y'all heard them say that, or have y'all recognized what it was that? Why were they matched together?
I think it was a typo somewhere.
No, it was a typo. It was a typo, and if I was Haley, I would be like, "Let me help me understand. Let me see the paperwork." And first of all, to me, Dr. Viviana had no right to throw her questionnaire back. Dr. Viviana, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, they can't say nothing. They put Chris on the show, and they gave him a wife. So after that, you have no ground to stand on. Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. This is Crystal Denise Speaks, and I'm here with my girls, and we're here to discuss Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 10. Hey girls, hey ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
All right, so I have like minimal notes because I was watching the episode when I helped Bree put together a desk. And you're welcome. And I meant to keep, and my back was turned to it most of the time, but I meant to keep going back. And I did go back and I watched some of it, but not the whole 2 hours. So
is that show 2 hours? Is it 2 hours?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was wondering why it was
commercials. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! This whole time I thought it was an hour, but I was like, man, these be some long hours.
No, it's longer than an hour, and I had to go back.
Wow.
So what I did, we watched it. I think I watched more because you really like led putting the desk together, so I was able to see more. But today I went back and I listened, and so I didn't have to really see facial expressions and stuff, and it was good to hear their conversations. It was, yeah. I did see facial expressions, and we'll talk about that because Jacob's facial expressions, that needs to be talked about.
Yes.
All right.
Well, did you guys feel uncomfortable? Like, I and more than any of the other episodes, I think I just felt so like, oh, this is so private. I don't know. I just felt it. I just get so anxious watching it when they're talking so personal. I don't know.
Okay, so there were a lot of, I felt like we were like involved in private conversations, and this is like off subject, but I had Bree and then I had Danielle. Y'all met Danielle last week. We're watching Married at First Sight Australia.
How is that? I always see the previews. It looks like it's a mess.
It is drama, but it's so different. So different. It's very, I like it. It's entertaining. It's very entertaining and different and crazy. They are just so much more laid back, and it's weird. It's like, are y'all taking it serious like a marriage? I mean, I guess because I can't get like I don't know. I think it's so much more laid back, especially the women too. And I don't know, it's different. The men are awful. Like, I used to love Australian accents, and I was like, okay, can I meet an Australian man? No, they seem like it's a lot of them on Chris's level to me. But anyway, that's a whole nother show. But if you haven't checked it out, check it out. But yeah, that's a whole nother show. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I have Virginia and Eric in my notes first.
That's cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love Virginia. Every week I love her more.
Really?
This week I do. I don't know why. I just love her. She's fun, but she definitely, like, I don't know, lets Eric know, okay, I might not be into that. I like that about her. And I think maybe I just feel like more of I would be more compatible with her personality as opposed to Eric's. But I think that
I'm sorry. It's Ryan. I hate when he says sure. Oh. But I say for sure. That's different. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For sure. Mm-hmm. So Eric, every week he just becomes a little bit more controlling and a little bit more set in his ways to me. So I want more. I don't know if I should say more because, it's okay, his way. He just needs to find someone else. I just hope they find, I don't think they're going to work out together. And I hope they find someone that is more compatible with each of them.
Okay, so kind of what you were saying, Carrie, you know, she kind of speaks up and says stuff. However, when the episode started off, I made a note. I think she went about the conversation when she was asking him, like, you know, do we share passwords? You know, like she was asking him questions, but to me, it was like she was asking for permission. Like, well, do you care if I talk to my guy friends on here? Do you care if I like their photos? And I just kind of wanted her to word it differently. Maybe she did, and we just missed that. But I kind of wanted her to be like, how would you feel if, or what do you think if these are things that I don't know. I just felt like she was kind of asking for permission. And I feel like he's always trying to give her permission. I feel like he's super controlling and he has this superiority that he thinks he's better and his way is the best. And I just felt like I didn't like the way the conversation was going because I felt as though she was kind of asking for permission in a way like, because I feel like a lot of times he treats her like she's a child. What did you think that? Like, how did you take that conversation, or y'all?
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. At first I didn't get it. I was like, well, why is she asking this? Like, what's the point behind it? But then it was like, then she came around and was saying how, well, if I like someone's picture or an ex's picture, then, you know, I'm going to like them. I mean, I'm going to like it because that's what you do, like on Instagram. And he was like, well, I mean, but you shouldn't be liking it at all. You shouldn't be following them. And I'm like, so it was like she was revealing the information, like you said, kind of in a backwards way, instead of just saying, hey, I want to talk about social media, or how do you feel about that? Because the other thing was, it was so general at first. It was like passwords to everything. Mm-hmm. And she was saying that on TV, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, that's my password for everything. I mean, just that was everything. Funny. And I was
obviously, hopefully, it's changed.
Yeah, I was like, you literally just said
Wait,
that.
Did she say it? Did she say it out loud?
Yes. Yeah, she literally said like her dog, and was saying like, no, I use it for everything. I use the same password for everything.
Oh, because I missed that because I was like, at least she's smart enough not to say what the password is. So I guess I'm.
But then I was waiting for him to be like, hey, like maybe because I thought he was going to catch it too and be like, maybe we shouldn't, you know, say it whatever on TV. But then he was like, oh yeah, I do the same for my dog too. And she was like, oh, do you use the same for everything? He was like, oh yeah, everything. I was like,
okay, who do you bank with? Come on.
Okay, right.
No, but I think you guys are right. But I also think that it's, you know, it's easier for us to sit and look at it and know exactly what point she was trying to get to. But it's, you know, in the moment, I think she did the best she could on trying to bring it up. And it's, you know, like she said, they typically avoid those conversations. So it probably was something, you know, that they had to, you know, like they were uncomfortable, but they was like, let's just talk about it. So I think she said exactly what you guys were saying and just, you know, feeling him out. And she wanted to give him an opportunity to express how he felt without telling her this is how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
But it was so funny because she was talking about like texting my guy friends, and he was like, oh yeah, well, I mean, the ones that I met. And she was like, I mean, I have more guy friends than that. And I'm like, Virginia, you got to do better with approaching. I get what you're saying, Carrie. It's not easy, but after you've seen a pattern of like, especially things that you know he may struggle with, you might want to try to approach and deliver it a bit differently, because you saying, oh, I have more guy friends than that. Like that's not gonna, you're not gonna get a good reaction to that. Like
that's just it. Like I kind of felt for her in that moment because I truly feel like that was very big of her to start the conversation and have the difficult conversations and different topics. But she just struggles with the communication piece. And you are absolutely right. The delivery and the way she how she put it on a platter for him, like it was asking for him to say no. No. So I just think it's the way her communication could definitely be polished up a bit, because her just approaching the way she approached it was just so off. Like it was weird, but he sucks anyway. So I'm so over him.
So am I, because you know when I was done with him, and I'm like, I don't want to make any assumptions, but that whole talk with Dr. Viviana, what did you get from when they were talking about the issues and how they see differently on certain things and what they support? I was like,
so I watched it twice.
I think you know where he stands politically.
The first one I thought politically, and then the second one I thought, it's still along the same political lines, but I remembered her sister's situation. And, I feel like it's along the same lines of more liberal when it comes to family and, sexuality and stuff like that. So I kind of picked up on that a little bit the second time.
So what did you think about the fact that he was the one who said that he was very open to being with someone who thought differently than him?
When did he say that?
He said that several times.
So this is the thing with him. He's a liar. This is the thing with him. He said something that, first of all, because I feel like we're about to go down this rabbit hole. So before we go down this rabbit hole, I just want to say this. When he was like, having kids was like basically non-negotiable for him, and she's kind of on the fence. And he was like, and she was like, yeah, I always thought if my husband wanted them, we could have that conversation. He was like, a conversation?
I know.
A conversation. I'm the one that's going to carry the baby. Like, excuse me, sir. Even if I wasn't going to carry the conversation, the baby, it's a conversation. This is not
a conversation.
But he said, if you don't want him, I'm done. I'm done. Bye. Go.
And he put a little bit of force behind that.
Oh, a lot of it. He was very clear about what he said. And he was also clear about how he said, it's not my problem. It's where I stand. It has nothing to do with me. She's one with the issue. He literally
he said she's the one with the issue. That's what he said. Yeah. And then said what he said. And then he said, I know what I believe in. That's it. I know what I believe in. That's it.
I'm done. I'm not changing my mind about that.
Was she dealing with right there? Oh, we would be. Yeah. We would be. Absolutely. So sorry for the rabbit. But anyways, so Eric said he doesn't deal with, I'm looking at notes, he doesn't deal with social issues because they are hard. Y'all, that is the definition of white privilege. That is the definition of white fragility. He doesn't ever want to be uncomfortable, and he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
He lives in this world, and he refuses to be uncomfortable and refuses to face. I would never want to deal with, if you don't even want to look and see that, wow, there are extreme issues in this world and things that need to be addressed and dealt with. I'm done. I'm done with him.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing to, like you said, because we are all brought up different ways, and so if you've never been exposed, it can't. If you are not exposed to someone else who's a different lifestyle or whatever, I can see how that may be a bit at first hard to deal with, or not even to deal with, because you may not have to deal with it, but just to understand or see how it's okay that someone lives differently. It doesn't affect you, but you still see the humanity in people. But it's you have to be open. I think that, Viviana had explained it perfectly, Dr. Viviana, when she was like, instead of seeing it as oh, this horrible thing and it should not be done, what can I learn or what can I see from this? And it doesn't mean I have to agree. It's just oh, this is something different. I never saw that before. But if you're not even in that space of that, I know he said military, I'm dealing with so much bigger issues. And it's just because yes, you may be a fighter pilot, you may be doing whatever, but that doesn't diminish her feeling strongly about, maybe her sister, if she's gay, but her having the ability to have rights. That doesn't diminish that. That doesn't make it so that yours are bigger or better. His whole way of handling that to me would have been really concerning.
Which it speaks to what she could expect in their marriage when there's when they have different opinions about certain topics, especially important topics, especially if you're going to have kids and, are bringing kids up in a household. He showed his true self, which was super, super concerning. And that's just, he's going to handle himself the same way in every situation, and that's what she can expect. And if she isn't, I mean, if she can handle that, that's good for her. But that would be a huge challenge because he shuts it down if he does not agree, and he is not. He showed right there that he is not open at all.
Yeah, and when Dr. Viviana asked about like the very question about, so if you guys were to have kids, what would that look like? You know, because y'all have, and I don't feel like I got a clear answer from what they said. And I feel like he tried to dodge it and fancy it up like it'll be okay, but it's like, it's very apparent that it's not going to be okay. And your children are going to be raised in that closed-minded mentality. Like that's
more than likely,
more, I mean, like, yeah, you're right, Carrie. More than likely, it could be maybe he changes.
Oh, no. I was gonna say more than likely they'll be divorced and they'll be in split households.
Okay, yeah. I was like, maybe. No, I agree with you, Carrie.
She's not having a baby for him. She's not.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. She doesn't. First of all, and it's not even that his view, just because, and I don't want it to come across because we feel that he has these specific views that he could, because of his views, he's closed-minded. He has told us that he doesn't even want to discuss or deal with specific issues because it's hard. So he's closed off to it. So you can have your opinion and your view, but you have to also be open to hearing other people out and understanding that there's different ways to go about things.
That just makes me nervous. Like that you can't even have a discussion to be able to like talk or see the person that you love.
And so now we're seeing that it's a pattern, right? Because the things that he feels like should be going on that, she hadn't really, been feeling at the time, he was right, she was wrong, and he was not willing to even look at it her way.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so, if you ask me. But they could push through, like Carrie said, anyway, against what they should do. And I still don't think that would end well, even if they continue beyond.
I think if they are a say yes at decision day couple, I cannot imagine them lasting very long.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, no, I think they'll say yes on decision day. But I don't know that they will like be a long lasting, have a long lasting relationship. Are there any couples that did say yes that didn't stay together? Oh yeah. Oh really? Yeah, there's a lot of couples that said yes on decision day and then got a divorce or didn't stay together. Yeah,
we'll see. I definitely have a feeling though that they're gonna be one that says yes, but
it doesn't stay together.
Yeah. So.
All right. Oh man, I did it again.
I forgot.
Virginia and Eric.
Girl, you love your pictures.
I do. So it's funny because this season I know these people with like the back of my hand, but every other season I'm like, wait, who was that couple? What's that person's name? Yeah. So I just feel like people watching may not remember. But anyways, let us know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think Virginia and Eric have what it takes to continue? I mean, to last, like to be a long-lasting, have a long-lasting marriage. And what do you think about Eric? Like, do you feel like he's controlling? Do you think that he's ever gonna be open to, seeing things differently? I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Paige and Chris. I know.
I don't really have anything to say.
I don't either.
I know they're so exhausting and it's the same thing. And it's so frustrating. Like, why do we keep doing the same thing? Like this episode, I saw more of her frustration come out, but I'm like, homegirl, like, why are you even doing this? Like, it was just, when I watched it the second time around and I realized, because the first time I was like, what? I was a little distracted. I was like, what did she have them writing down on paper? Like, I would feel the same way he was. Like, man, this is like, what were they writing? They were writing down like their dates, like when they were gonna hang out, when they were gonna do stuff, and what they were gonna do. That was the time when he was like, she said something about playing cards, and he was like, no, I just won't. Yeah, he didn't want to play card games. But he wanted her to, her to lead him in Bible study. But before that, he said we could play basketball. She was like, okay. I mean, I don't know how. He was like, oh, but I'll teach you. Like, so he wanted to play basketball or for his woman to lead Bible study.
The thing with the writing down out the days, I think that was something at the guest, like as a shot in the dark that Dr. Viviana had given, you know, how all the couples had to exercise, but to like, because she had mentioned something about like, in order to move forward, we need to actually be able to see and make it like tangible plans, supposedly. So I guess that was their exercise. I thought when you were talking about writing down, I thought you were talking about the part where she was taking notes during Bible study. Carrie, I know, like, I said, Paige, he's not saying it. Like, he had said something life-changing. Mama was taking full written. I was like, Paige.
And she was the one who had to lead the thing.
No, and then, y'all, when he got his phone out, his Bible app, and he read that one verse, he was like, amen.
He did. Oh, my goodness. So I'm convinced that at this point, Chris is just really, really full of himself and only just wants to be on our screen for us to talk about him. And I'm just not going to give that to him. And, you know, so he has no intentions of he would rather film his scenes alone than be with Paige. Like, he's only talking to her to get screen time, and I'm done.
Okay, so let's talk about this though. Let's talk about, because I was trying to rationalize it and understand, besides from the fact that maybe Portia or what's
Portia?
What's her name? Or Mercedes?
From the Housewives.
No, Mercedes.
Oh.
maybe she's living with him. That was in my mind, but I'm trying to understand. Help me rationalize, why is it? Because he is pretty dead set against, I don't want to be on the phone with this girl, but I'll come over and kick it with you. So what is it about? And she said before he came over that day, she said that every time she calls him, it goes to voicemail.
Because the days that he's coming over are filming days.
Can you put
Carrie, did you hear that?
She said that. Yeah, she did.
I didn't hear her say that.
She said voicemail. You put one person's number on Do Not Disturb, so that person always.
Yeah, so he blocked her. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Wow. So y'all, he's only seeing her. He said, I'll only have game night with you or Bible study night with you because it was the filming schedule. Like he doesn't even talk to her. Like that is so, this is so
I didn't even put that together.
Grow up.
I'm like, Paige, you've got to get to a point where you say enough is enough. Like he's not trying to kick it at all whatsoever. And I felt so bad for her. Like I had stopped feeling bad for her several weeks ago because she was frustrating me. But I came back to feeling bad for her because I feel like she truly has some hope. Like she is holding on to a glimmer of hope that he giving them a second chance and it may work. But when she was asking him about playing a card game, and that would have been a perfect opportunity as a couple to talk about things that you like, or like talk about like get to know you type of session. So she kind of laughed about it. She was like, you won't play card games? Or he was like, no. I mean, he just shut it down and was just such an asshole about it. He was like, no, I'm just not going to.
But did you get that? I didn't understand, and I didn't understand the Bible study thing, like the throne, because he said, did you hear what he said? He said, that's the reason why stuff hasn't been working out with us. God hasn't
brought God.
I said,
but sir, but you don't have God. You haven't prayed once. You can't pray. Every time it's time to pray, you make her pray. You can't even leave the Bible study. You are supposed to. If you are so like, you know, the way God wants this, He wants you to be the head of the household, sir. He wants you to take the lead, and you can't even. He can't even pray for dinner. But that's because I think he's so concerned about his image and the way he looks and how people see him, and so he might be one of those people that's not comfortable praying in front of others, so he don't want to be on national TV praying. So he wants to be comfortable, so he's going to make her uncomfortable, or at least just make sure he's comfortable. So he doesn't want to pray. So I feel like as far as Paige and the marriage, I know Carrie wanted to share something that she read this tweet Jamie Otis posted, but I think for me, I feel like Paige has made their marriage and marriage in general an idol because he has no redeeming qualities. He hasn't shown her that he cares about her or cares about their marriage. And she just seems so like, I just feel like she's made this marriage an idol. And
you said an idol?
An idol, yes. And that's like the most important thing, just marriage in general. But ma'am, he's already asked you for a divorce. He sat there with Dr. Viviana and said he has no motivation for this situation at all. He can't even call and text or talk to you at all throughout the day. Like, let him go. Let him go.
So when Dr. Viviana was like, I don't know, what are y'all doing? And she kicked her heel up over her Lego. I was like, oh, she's actually done.
Yeah, she couldn't even, because I think she did ask her too. She said, she asked her that question. Mm-hmm. What's motivating you? I don't remember her question exactly.
What motivated you to say
why? Because she believed, it was because of the vows and because God wanted, that this marriage is of God. But yeah, Carrie, go ahead and share. I am with you. I'm going to say one more thing now. I think, yeah, we, obviously can show more grace to Paige and all that. But I do think, and this is on her side, I believe she's really just doing the best and that she can because she has to still film. I believe it's some type of contractual whatever. I really think that's it. I don't think, and I think that's going to come out later, but I don't believe that she's like, I just don't. So I'm giving her that benefit. I believe she's just trying to make it like be about, I need to say, and it's just because she has to do that like legally.
Okay, so she was just here so she doesn't get fined.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be all like, I'm just trying to see where we're going.
Very true.
Or, let's do.
But she does it because she does if she contractually you can't like you have to still give the audience something, right? So if it was just like I'm just here so I don't get fined, that's not going to.
She could give us the same attitude he giving us. Mm-hmm. She could do this. She could. That's a really good point. She could be like, oh, okay. Oh, I mean, she could give us a show. I don't know, but when you said contractual, that made me think. I feel like. These are all things that I'm making up. I'm coming to my own conclusion because I cannot find the answer. But I feel like I found or I've determined the answer as to where her people are. I don't know if it was you I was talking to or Danielle or maybe Carrie. I feel like the reason we don't see her people is because of Chris. Chris is like, I ain't doing that. I'm not meeting with them.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I said. Because the very first time that came up where everybody was meeting with the other their spouse's family was the night after the wedding, and he left her in the hotel and didn't answer his phone. Remember, he said, I'm going to get breakfast.
Yeah,
that was my suspicion. That was then because she went and met with his parents that day, and they never showed or said anything about him. I really feel like it's the Chris show, and he decides when he wants to film, how he wants his story, what and they're all going along with it, including Paige, and it's sad.
Yeah, because that is the same day he said he had a panic attack. Yes. So I'm sure they probably kicked it off. Like,
and the reason why I say that is because remember how uncomfortable he was, even with his own pastor. As soon as the pastor did not agree with him 100%, he shut it down. He's not going to sit there and get grilled. He's not going to answer for himself to her family. Like, no, he's just not going to do it.
Ooh, Carrie, that's good.
Yeah. You know what? They should tell him that somebody should take his phone away from him. He's like a child because every time that is him every single time. They need to take his phone away.
Like he has to put his phone in the bucket.
He was on the couch with her. They couldn't even talk, and he's scrolling on the phone, texting Mercedes. Like,
And then did you see when the doorbell rang and he was like, "This is not my house.
It's your house."
Oh yes.
I said,
I don't live here with you.
That was appalling. That was
awful.
Hey, you gonna let him? Oh no.
He's been done with her. I just want her to be done with him. And
but y'all, and they playing games. They're playing even Lifetime. They playing games. Do y'all know when they were going when they had the date, when they had the Bible study? I had to tell Crystal this because when I watched it the second time, she was at the apartment and he was coming. You know how they was playing gospel music when she went to
Yes, did you see?
to the door. I was like, oh, they playing.
I'm coming to lay my burdens down. I said, lay them down.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, let us know what y'all think in the comments. If you care, if like I told y'all before, if this was like 5 episodes ago, I said Chris is gonna stay around to play around. We cannot move on, y'all.
Oh, no.
What is it? A Mercedes Benz? What did he buy?
I'm done with him. I'm done with it. He just wanted something to say on TV. I'm done. No more free.
You don't believe he did that? I believe he really did that.
He probably did. I mean,
I do.
It's a lease.
I'm sure he's leasing it.
Right. I mean,
it might be a rental.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he just made up something off the top of his head. I'm done with him.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Carrie's done. We're done. We're done with you, Chris.
There was no accident 6 years ago. Nothing. None of that was true.
First of all, if you had an accident 6 years, you're in trouble 6 years, I'm gonna find you a Benz to run my baby.
Crystal.
Okay.
So he said that she has taken Uber for 6 years.
Okay.
Did she look like she would take Uber for 6 years?
Well, what is it called? The Uber Black? What do you get when you get the nice car? You take the Uber Black.
Oh yeah.
I was so done. And my thing is, you don't have to dress it up. You're gonna just say that I bought her a Benz. Like,
why do you even need to tell your wife this when you can't even talk to your wife on the phone or even text her? You don't have a relationship with her. You don't have any motivation. You don't want her. So why do you even need to text? Okay, let us know. We're done with him. Kick rocks and no socks. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and I don't want to talk about them. Let's talk about them. Brianna and Vincent. Yay, Bree and Vincent. Okay, so I love they had a great sit down with Dr. Viviana. I feel like you need to apologize, Bree.
I do need to apologize for talking about his shirt. I mean, I do. And he was able to say that. Like, I'm so frustrated. Like, why you can't be vulnerable and like be goofy and allow yourself to be embarrassed in front of her, but then you just gonna say on TV that, you know, you gained some weight. Your shirt was too tight.
So first of all, it was in the moment. He was feeling uncomfortable in the moment, and it just shows how mature he is that he is able to reflect and come back and say, you know, this is why. He understands why he acted out. You know, it's very good when people understand why they, you know, have certain behaviors. So
yeah, it was
get that man a nightgown like Bennett so that he could breathe. Like,
right, let him be comfortable. Just be comfortable with it, okay?
No, but Dr. Viviana was right. He was trying to be smooth. Like, he didn't, you know, like, she was like, look, be yourself. You'll be okay. And I love them. I love their communication. Even like the conversation, just understanding how difficult it can be sometimes to come back and like, you know, calmly and like just being able to talk things out and communicate with your partner can be so hard. And it just looks so authentic with them because you could see like, you know, it looks, their relationship is just, it seems to be solid, but it seems to have been such an immediate and great connection. And now we're seeing them actually learn how to build a relationship. So it's like the actual point of the show, like that couple. I love it.
Yeah, I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love how she, you know, she just confirmed that she wants him to be vulnerable. She likes the quirks and stuff. I don't know. I agree. I just agree with Carrie. I wasn't saying much, but just that I love their communication. I love how they can talk and just be open and honest.
Yeah, I think it's just you could feel the authenticity, which is not something I feel with any of the other couples. And I'm just be honest about that.
Yes.
And so that's what makes it's just uncomfortable to watch because it's like, I mean, you know, it's reality TV, whatever. But like Carrie said, the point of the show is for there to be some sort of feeling or something. And I just do not get that with anyone else aside from
it was just, and it was so automatic. I love it. Oh, and Brianna gets more beautiful every episode.
First of all, I love them and I agree with what y'all are saying and what Bree said. Like, I liked how he apologized
Mhm.
and she accepted, but then she said, hey, you know, I want you to be who you are, and I like the course. Like, I love their communication, like y'all are saying. So just piggybacking off of that. And I think for them, I definitely think they're going to be a couple that is, if they don't say yes on decision day, something is going to have to happen crazy for them not to say yes. But I also think they can last. But I think that they would really benefit from doing post-marital counseling, because you know you do pre-marital. But I think the counseling and having someone else there and helping them talk through it is really good. So I hope they continue that. Oh man, come on, Crystal, you can do it. You can remember what you was gonna say. Do it.
It'll come back to you.
No, it wasn't for my notes. It wasn't okay. They were playing that game, and it was like one thing about me that you don't like. She said his hair, y'all, and I hope she.
No. You got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Oh, what did I miss? Okay, tell me.
He said the question was, what is something that you don't like about yourself? And she had to guess what he would say about himself. And so then she said hair, and he was like, yeah. Then he was like, wait, what about my hair? And she knew what did she say? His hairline or something like that. Like she knew exactly how he felt about his hair.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I thought she was like, because you know she had said she liked his bald head. So I thought she was trying to give him hints like, why you let it go in? Like, cut that back off.
Girl, no, yeah, because I had to do a double take with that too, because I was like, oh, how you gonna feel about that? But it was him saying she was saying what he didn't like about himself.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I messed that one up. Yes, thank you. Anyway, well, let us know what y'all think in the comments about Bree and Vincent. I mean, we all love them and hope that they continue to just continue. Yeah, I mean, y'all, I should just know from now on when Champagne Vinny come through with the mess.
I love that she called him Champagne. Did she call him? Did she say Vinny or did she say Vincent?
She said
Dr. Viviana. Yeah, Champagne.
I think maybe,
yeah.
But he come back the next week with like, y'all,
he do. He's good. They're good. They're good together.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about. I guess we can talk about Claire and Ryan.
So we went from one authentic couple to the
opposites.
Yeah, okay.
I still don't see it. I feel like I know that they love to do like when especially when, I mean, they do it anyway, but when the pastor comes and when Dr. Viviana, it's like, you know, it's all like, it's so touchy-feely. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it, y'all. I don't.
Crystal, stop. I don't. It's so weird, but Alex, I started to think, I'm like, I wonder if he believes that. Like, he doesn't seem like an intentional narcissist like Chris, where he's trying to put on a show. I think Ryan might actually believe, because the whole, if I saw her out and we talked, like they 100% act like we are perfectly matched. And I'm so confused because it seems like they are not at all. Like they're on two different levels. It's so weird. And I'm talking more about the whole sex thing. They don't seem matched to me, but to them, they keep saying they're mad. Maybe they something going on behind the scenes that we don't see.
And I don't like, I know, you know, don't want to label him. I don't know what the word is for him, but it's just it's like a little bit, it's guarded, but it's a little bit condescending, but then it's like
superior,
kind of brush off. That's not, you know, like it's like a dismissive. That's like what
I think he can be dismissive. I didn't see it as much. I don't see, you guys have been saying that a lot about him, and I don't think I see it as much. I do, like, I think it's the guarded and dismissive, but I also think that it's the perfect storm because she is really hard. It's really hard for Clara to be direct with him and be open with him, because and maybe it's because he's dismissive, or maybe it's because, like you guys said, maybe it's because he's controlling. I just haven't seen it. It just seems like because of her personality, he's just like, oh, everything's okay, everything's my way, and that's how she likes it. And he's not even taking the opportunity to look at it from her point of view. Because it seemed to me today, like he seemed like he was surprised that she was so upset about the whole sex thing. Like, did he seem surprised?
Yeah, I don't know if I get what you're saying. I don't know if it was surprised, but then I think part of me wondered too if it was more like I thought. I don't want to say make it that deep, but I thought maybe it was like I thought we weren't really going to go into this on camera. You know what I mean? He had very clearly said, "You're not going to be talking about you and me doing stuff on camera." And she kind of really went against that in this episode. I don't know if you noticed, but I felt like that's kind of what that look was like. So you
oh, okay.
That's what I thought, but I could be wrong.
No, I can see that. Maybe I missed that because I don't remember them having that understanding. But no, I could totally see that. And because he seemed so, I mean, it was so. First of all, do you think that Dr. Viviana, hit the nail on the head when she said, do you think he could be a virgin?
No, I don't think
like what, he couldn't even like. He was so uncomfortable about talking about it.
So uncomfortable.
But
like
that
couldn't even talk.
But that seems so out of their character, though, Alex. For her to bring that up, for Dr. Viviana to bring that up, I don't know. I feel like there's something behind that. I don't know.
I thought it was more because of religion. Both his parents are pastors, aren't they? Like,
yeah, maybe he's just worried about like the tongue gossip, or like the church ladies at church, what they're gonna say, and his parents were like, "Don't embarrass me."
I'm pretty confident that he is absolutely not trying to embarrass his parents.
But then he needs to have a conversation with Claire. I'm so sorry, I just interrupted. I just realized.
No,
he could just have had that conversation with her if that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know.
Could he not even? Could he not even say like what his position,
his favorite position?
This is what questioned me. The fact that he didn't even have the words to say missionary, or just like,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
I do not even know.
I wouldn't want, I mean, I don't know that I would be on TV wanting to talk about, I don't know. All I know is, I don't even really know what I know, but what I
He could have been like, I like them all. Like, we could try all of them. I don't know. He could have said something. He just was like, redirect. Don't talk about this. Don't even question me.
I just have a problem with, like, you cannot have her giving you types like favors and things, and like, that's the same thing.
And they talk about that.
You can't.
Like, he can be in his thoughts, getting favors, like
favors. I will put money on it. He's not giving her favors.
Okay, but she needs to stop giving him favors.
She's giving him favors.
She needs to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't have anything else on Ryan and Clara. I think he's fake, and I think if I have to hear him say "sure" one more time, and what's that word I don't want to hear Paige say ever again?
Vows.
Transpired over the past few weeks.
I can't think. Okay, I just want to know one more thing though. What do you think about when Claire was talking about her past relationship and how that plays a huge role into it, and how she was like, I've never had any attachment. Never.
Yeah, that's weird. That was weird. I think that she just,
and I was like, Clara,
I think that she doesn't.
I think that was true.
Oh.
But you think she didn't understand?
I feel like she doesn't understand, because I feel like Claire has always been in relationships where she loves them and she's in love with them, but they don't love her back.
And that's why I'm saying I think that's true.
I think because they don't love her back. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's because of the decisions that she made. And I'm starting to wonder a bit about, like, not even trying to be funny, but like emotional intelligence wise, like, you can't read, you know what I mean? That when someone and maybe this is why it's triggering. Maybe she can, and this is why the situation with Ryan is triggering her. But like the guys before, like you couldn't. She said 5 years. That was a long time. That she said. Remember,
she needs to stop giving favors to people who are not.
What, Claire?
So it was really sad to me. That part, I forgot I wanted to talk about that, because the fact that he is withholding, she is viewing it as he's withholding like that other guy. Because I think she was with the guy for so long, but the last 2 years they didn't even have sex for the last 2 years. And that is, I mean, that had to be really hurtful to her. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounded like it wasn't by her choice, that she, you know, she made it seem like he had pulled away and their relationship was so bad. And she had to get to a point to leave that, you know, relationship alone. And so I think like the reason she's so hurt, and she's like, it's just sex. I don't understand what her reasoning is with that. And so maybe you're right, Alex. Maybe she just needs to do some soul searching to figure out how she interlopes that in her relationships. But I do think that she is taking this as a rejection. Like Ryan wanting to take it slow is not computing with her. She's automatically putting them back into like, we've been here for 5 years and now you're, withholding. So it definitely triggered her.
I don't know if you heard, he shut that down. He was like, it's literally been 3 weeks. I've only known you.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
I mean, it's true.
I think that would be okay if they weren't doing other things. Like I would think that's normal and okay to not be getting physical in 3 weeks with someone. I am totally there with them, but we're not gonna do other stuff.
Right. And I think, and that's the thing that I think too is like, it's just weird. Something is off, y'all. I don't know what it is, but it's strange.
And
maybe he feels about her. Oh, I'm sorry, Brie, go ahead.
I'm worried that she's like wanting this so much or feeling like I'm worried that she might be disappointed if and when it does happen.
That would be so awesome. If she was like, oh, never mind.
Right. Like, oh, okay, we could have waited.
Let us know in the comments if y'all think they're going to if you think they have any potential. Like, is Ryan ever gonna like be a real person?
Take his shirt off?
Yeah, because he think he's a robot. Like, he's weird.
Sure. But that goes to show that he is 100%, like he's in his own mind, not scripted to what they have on the show, but in his own mind, he is scripted. He knows what he's going to share and what he's not going to share. Like this is the Ryan. We 100% have his representative and nothing more.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Crystal.
Okay, for sure is mine. He just said,
"Oh, you sounded like him."
I know. I'm so mad at him for ruining that for me. Okay, whatever. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. For sure. All right, last but definitely least, Haley and Jacob.
You see his face in that picture.
So I was just about to say, is it Eric? No, wait, which one? Ryan. Ryan is Haley, but he's just a much better actor. Like that's what I think. He's just not attracted. He's just not feeling this whole situation. And he's just like, let me get through these 8 weeks. Because like and Haley, she literally cannot stomach it. She can't stomach to be fake anymore.
Crying, and that's why Haley is my girl.
I love Haley
because I truly believe she wants to be married. She had really good. She was Paige. I came in this with pure intentions. She did. Like she wanted to work, but she is like, what in the like? How did this happen? Like, not only is she not physically attracted to him, like he's not giving her. He has no personality.
He's annoying,
and she can't get anything from him. She like I felt her in that moment when she was tearing up when she was like, I connect with people so well.
What?
This was Jacob's face every time Haley cried.
I know.
Oh, he does do that. Yeah.
He was like, why would you cry? Cry?
He's so oblivious to how much she doesn't like him. And he is mad at her for not liking him. Mm-hmm. And that's wrong. He's upset with her. He thinks that her not liking him is a lack of her trying, and it's not. And he doesn't get that. He feels like if she was being honest about really trying, that she would just automatically fall in love with him. I don't know why he thinks that that was like a guarantee for this like experiment. Like, no.
Jacob should have been.
It's really sad.
He should have been on this new show that they're doing, Unmatchables.
Yeah.
Like,
they should take him off right now. They should snatch him up in the middle because
just sit him over there. Well, so I think, I don't know. I just feel so bad for her. But I think that Dr. Viviana was really unfair to throw her her questionnaire back in her face, because Dr. Viviana was the one who, I don't know if it's her, but I'm saying the experts are the ones who messed up. They should not have matched her with him. And I think that she's very self-aware, and I think she does have a great deal of emotional intelligence, because she's able to see clearly that this was not due to her for a lack of trying. And I think that she is very clearly understanding that, you know, I was willing to go in and put my all in, but I was matched with someone I literally don't like. I don't even know how to explain even more. Like, she just doesn't like him. Like, I don't know what to say.
Have y'all even seen, you know, like there's, with all of these couples, there's different things that they have these differences and things that aren't, you know, they have their conflicts or issues that they have to, hurdles they have to overcome. But I think I've heard all of them say, oh, I understand why we were matched. Have y'all heard them say that, or have y'all recognized what it was that, why were they matched together?
I think it was a typo somewhere.
No, it was a typo. It was a typo. And if I was Haley, I would be like, let me help me understand. Let me see the paperwork. Mm-hmm. And first of all, to me, Dr. Viviana had no right to throw her questionnaire back. Dr. Viviana, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, they can't say nothing. They put Chris on the show and they gave him a wife. So after that, you have no ground to stand on.
They don't. This is.
I just want her to make a clean. I want both of them to make a clean break. It just seems painful now. You know, it doesn't seem like
painful.
There's a point between like the trying, but now I think it's beyond that. You know, like, I understand you're not your comfort zone, but like it legit, like, he seems like he's getting hurt, and she can tell that she's hurting him, and that's making her feel hurt and feel like she's a bad person.
So bad.
It's just not
and
there.
He just does it. And y'all, somebody, when we talk about emotional intelligence, he has very little, if any, at all. Like, I mean, even when she takes 2 steps and tries to make it work, he's pouncing and jumping all on that and thinking, oh, okay, we're ready to go full blown. Like, no, give me space. Take the steps with me. He just,
I brushed my teeth. Do you want to kiss?
He's jumping all over it. What'd you say, Carrie?
I'm sorry. I just thought of that when you said she take 1 step and he jump over it. He's like, I brushed my teeth. Can I kiss you?
Right.
No.
And then he said, what about cuddling or under the cover action? No,
he didn't. He asked her for, I don't know if it was him saying he brushed his teeth, can he kiss her, but he basically, I mean, he asked her for something. She's like, no, I'm not ready for that yet.
Dr. Viviana,
it was the fact that she, again, Haley, she's continuing to be my MVP, because she's crying and she was like, okay, because we were confirmed, Alex, no, they're not in the same bed.
I told you.
And she,
I was saying, I told you.
And she came in the bed. So she came in the bed, dude, she's sleeping in the same bed with you. Give her a minute. He jumping all over that. What can we do? Like,
she can't even sleep, y'all. She cannot sleep.
She's like, what's at night? Eyes wide open.
She like, you getting under the sheet? Okay, I'm gonna be on top of the sheet. Aww. So I don't know. I feel bad for her and for him, because he's a nice guy. He's not, awful person. But they should have matched him correctly, and it should not have been with her. All right, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Let us know in the chat what you think about all of the couples, who's going to stay together, who is not. If you have not already done so, subscribe, like this video with a thumbs up, hit the bell button so you have notification of when we upload our review video. But we appreciate y'all for coming. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.